Really want to oppose that stuff? I think there's a lot of
you've just listed the only things that were announced
measures
today. What about the things that weren't there?
Well, actually, there was a lot more. There were measures to put the UK in the lead on green vehicles, on electric vehicles, space flight, satellite technology.
You've mentioned space before in one of these speeches.
It's absolutely true.
But what about the things that were missing?
Yeah, no, I'm not going to hide it from you. That obviously, we didn't do as well in the election as we wanted to, as we hoped to do, and everybody understands that. But the fact is that we're 56 seats ahead of the nearest party, that's Labour. So we have a duty to go on. Theresa May has a duty, which she takes very seriously, to go on and to try to deliver the priorities of the people. And those are getting a great Brexit deal, all the opportunities for global free trade and all the rest of it, plus taking forward the economic proposals that we need to strengthen this country's position. And say nothing of the counter-terrorism measures that were announced as well. So those are the three planks.
She's looking ahead. Does she need to look around and look what's going on behind her back? What's going on?
I knew, of course, people will want to talk about this sort of stuff, but genuinely, there's 2 points. First of all, there's no appetite whatever in the governing party, in the Conservative Party, for anything like that. We want just to get on with
You have not
governing.
Got a team together just looking at the possible...
Secondly, there is no appetite in the Tory party at large, or indeed in the country. And it's the country that really matters. I think the country, let's face it, we've had the general election of 2015, then we had the referendum 2016, then we had, as Brenda from Bristol said, another election. I think people have had it with political shenanigans and electioneering. So they're going to, I hope they'll look at that Queen's speech fairly. I think they'll see a lot of good things that they will like and that are interesting, that can help take the country forward.
Trouble is, you've got form in terms of getting a team together, getting ready to mount a leadership bid. Didn't work the first time. And when you talk about the country, are we talking about the country where you go to a pub on a Saturday night and say, meet Sir Michael Fallon? A lot of people saying, what on earth is going on?
No, genuinely, and you can talk to any of us in the Tory party. We are united behind it, getting through this period, getting a great Queen's speech through, and then trying to get the bills forward. Now, I think the question is really for Labour. When they look at this stuff, what is it that they don't like? I'll give you an example. There's a bill we're bringing in, measures we're bringing in to tackle whiplash injuries. There's a huge spike in the claims for whiplash. I don't know if you've studied this. It's like 50. It's massively increased. I don't know whether you've had to try to get car insurance for your kids, okay? But it is unbelievably expensive. And the reason it's unbelievably expensive, this might actually be interesting for our viewers, unlike a lot of this, but the reason it's unbelievably expensive
nice.
is because there are all these bogus claims for whiplash. Please, can I finish?
This affects a minuscule number of people.
What, people who get motor car insurance?
What about? What about
are you saying that there's a minuscule number of people who are affected by motor car insurance?
People out there are not losing sleep over their car insurance. They are losing sleep.
They're paying a lot of money for it.
They're losing sleep because the dementia tax, issues over social care, issues over housing, all the things that you will have come across as you were in your election mode.
Absolutely.
People in front of you were saying, actually, austerity is an issue.
On housing, let's see what Labour actually says about our plans to cap deposits for tenants, to make sure that letting agents do not continue to charge unnecessary fees running into hundreds of pounds. Now, that is a progressive measure. It will help people with the costs of rental accommodation. It's the right thing to do for the country. The challenge for Labour is, will they back it? Will they back the huge housing programme that Sajid Javid is going to bring forward to build 500,000, a million new homes between now and 2020, and then another 500,000 thereafter? Are they on for that? Are they really on for it? If so, they should get behind this Queen's speech.
Would you like to be Prime Minister?
I very much want Theresa May to get on with the job and to be supported in her work. And by the way, that is the kind of lively political. That is the kind
well,
of.
I hope they didn't hear what that was.
That's all right. There you go. Well, there you go. I think that's a sort of partial answer to your question. We face a very different political climate from the one of, a few years ago. We now have a lot of argy-bargy going on. There you go. I got one supporter there, but you've got, if I may say so, you've got a lot of people who I think are being egged on, whipped up by momentum, Corbynista activists of one kind or another to take a very direct approach. And I do, I think it's great in some ways, but I think that the abuse and the name calling and all that sort of, I can soak it up. I love it. I was 8 years mayor of London.
You've done a bit of it yourself.
But I think all that kind of thing is slightly turning people off politics.
Okay, I've got to let you go. Before I do, what's the naughtiest thing you've ever done?
It would be invidious, as between the various naughty things I have done, to nominate any particular one. And now is certainly not the moment to do it.
Perhaps another time.
I think it highly unlikely. But anyway, good luck with that one.
Thank you very much, Boris Johnson. Yes, well, you will have heard some shouting from the street. In fact, there are some